Inside the Intervals, episode 13. Welcome back to the podcast, guys. Today, we have got a lot to talk about. A lot of things. Now, of course, as you know, the playoffs are officially over. They've been over for about nearly a week now. And, of course, the Lakers have won the championship. Definitely, marks a 10-year anniversary since the Lakers last won it. Of course, Kobe Bryant became like Finals MVP and everything. So, but I'm just gonna say, shout out to the team because I've been supporting that team for a long run. We definitely had ups and downs, and we're back up again. So yeah, definitely something to look forward to. We have a bright future with the Lakers squad, and I think if we do get a few odd trades here and there and the right pickups, then we should be fine. We should definitely be fine. So, with that being said as well, also shout out to the Miami Heat and shout out to the Heat fans. If I was a Heat fan, I'd definitely be proud of that organization and what they've done this year. They beat the odds of the media saying Jimmy Butler is not a good player, not an all-star, not even a superstar. Can't get a team to the finals. Well, he brought the team to the finals. Of course, it was cut short by the Lakers, but he is definitely a player who has adapted well and knows his role and accepts it and brings everybody together on the team. And he's had a few ups and downs throughout the league, but this is definitely one of his up moments, despite a loss, and the team as well in general. Good coaching staff. Definitely had not even a bad roster really. It was just solid disguised who are there, who are solid players. So definitely big up to the Miami Heat. Now, of course, LeBron James won the Finals MVP over Anthony Davis, and a lot of people were kind of like, "Well, Anthony Davis should have won it." But then again, like LeBron and AD did both play good in the finals, and what I've got to say is that it brings up the talk now: is LeBron the greatest player of all time? Is he not the best of this generation? Has he not done it all? And of course, LeBron definitely has the caliber and definitely the reservoir to back up his talk, and definitely he is a great player, and I think he will go down as probably top 10, definitely top 5, one of the two anyway. It doesn't really matter, but definitely a top 5 player. The only thing I have is that I can say about the GOAT situation: is he the greatest of all time? Is he better than MJ? No. I think what stands out more for MJ is that he had 2 3-peats and he lost 9 times in the playoffs, whereas LeBron's lost 13 times in the playoffs and he's not even had a 3-peat. He had a back-to-back with the Miami Heat, but of course that didn't go to plan. But yeah, like definitely, like both of these players are definitely in the talks of being potentially the greatest of all time. And we know the greatest of all time is definitely MJ, but LeBron is there. He is definitely there in the top 5. And if he's not in your top 5, then there's obviously something wrong because he's done it all. He's done what he set out to be stats wise. He does match up to a lot of stats against MJ, but it's about the championship. It's not about so much about the rings. It's about the 3-peats. That's what it's about. Can he 3-peat in the final? Or not final, so can he get back-to-back championships 3 times, Can he do it? And, it's a hard job. Not every team can pull it off. But, of course, like the Lakers have pulled it off. Boston Celtics have. I can't remember what was the other team. Sorry, Chicago Bulls have as well. And, it's hard. It is definitely hard for a lot of teams, especially when, you're going to be up against other good players. So, yeah. But then again, LeBron is there. He is in the GOAT conversation. If he's not there, there's something wrong, and of course he is. Now, with that being said, obviously I'm more of a Kobe fan than I am LeBron. So that's definitely one bigger thing I would say is that LeBron, he's in the talks. I don't think he's definitely gonna shy away from this. And of course, I think he even said as well after the final game of the playoffs, like he was literally like put some respect on him. Definitely, like I think people would have definitely I have tried to like underwhelm him or undermine him more so just because of the fact that, oh, it's LeBron James, but he loses, he's this and that. It doesn't matter. He's still been to the playoffs. He's still done his thing. He's still got to the finals, regardless if he's lost or not. He's still there. He's in that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Definitely in that conversation. And I think a lot of people were talking about, well, at the time were like Giannis and of course Kawhi Leonard, where they was talking about, oh yeah, these guys might be better than LeBron. Well, LeBron's got the 4 rings and 4 Finals MVPs. Kawhi's only got 2 of those, and Giannis has none. And again, like I said, you comparing those 3, they're in the talks of being great players, but again, LeBron will stand out more, not just because of what he's won, it's because of what he's done. More so, if you look at the stats compared to that, and compare that to Kawhi and Giannis, and I know Giannis did win MVP this season, but there's a difference between MVP and Finals MVP. So a lot of people are trying to discredit Giannis for winning MVP, but he deserves it. He does deserve it. He's had a great season, regardless of the playoffs. He's had a great season. Now, in order for him to get another championship, well, no, sorry, not another championship, to get a championship, is that it's the team around him. They've got to try and get him someone who's on a similar athlete level, or someone who has like a good IQ to know what he can do more. And also, I think he should develop a lot more in the post as well. Definitely work on his post game, because he's a guy. He's length. He can do it in the post, I think. And it's not always going to be good, taking those 3 steps into the paint all the time. Someone's always going to have your number, which is clear Jimmy Butler did. So, yeah, just again, big up to the Lakers. I'm proud. Definitely proud of the team. Also proud of the Miami Heat. It was a good finals. Really good finals. I actually thought at one point, oh boy, it could go, what if the Heat come back? You know what I'm saying? So definitely both teams going forward have become stronger, Hopefully we see the Heat in the finals in the next year, hopefully. Hopefully. So yeah, I think free agency is on October 18th, which is this Sunday. Definitely look out for that, because we're going to see some trades definitely happen. Rumors already starting to happen. People have opted out of their player options and whatnot. So definitely going to be interesting. I think a few days after that is the NBA draft as well. So yeah, that should be, this is going to be an interesting off season as well, especially now that it's in October and November, when we're so used to like a summer free agency. But it is what it is. And definitely, it should interest. A lot of teams should now be trying to think, okay, well, now that the Lakers have won it, a lot of teams should be thinking now, like, okay, what do they need to do? If you're a contending team, what piece do you need? What piece do you definitely need to try and, like, I don't know, probably stop the Lakers or anything like that? That's what I would have a focus on if you are a contending team. If you're a team that's still rebuilding, trying to get through, maybe an 8th or 7th seed team, you should just be thinking about growing. If your players are young, grow your teams. And of course, again, teams who are out of the playoffs, they should just be focusing on just be focusing on what they could do, what draft picks they can get, and then just build within that team. It's all about building a strong roster, definitely a strong roster. I think on an underrated team, I think in the playoffs this year, I would have given it to the Heat, but I mean the Heat are the sleeper squad. But then that doesn't necessarily mean you're an underrated team, I guess. Well, I mean, I guess it does. But another underrated team, I think that deserves more props is definitely the Denver Nuggets. I like their improvements, and I like what they did, especially in the second round. I'm sure a lot of Denver fans were happy when they made it to the conference finals, because they thought it was done down and out. And the thing that was crazy about it is that the Clippers really had them overwhelmed, and they was up 3-1, and that's what kind of bothered me. I just kind of realized that, wow, the Clippers, they really had this team, but yet they couldn't pull through. So it just shows a lot. And I think I said it in my last podcast about the whole, situation with Patrick Beverly and Reggie Jackson. Is true. They need an elite guard, someone who can run an offense. But more so, back on the Denver Nuggets, shout out to Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, definitely guys who I can see in the future being a nice like pick and roll type of situation players, because these two are definitely worth the bargain. You know, of course, Denver brought them through the draft, and they've just not looked back. So I think they just need an extra piece, maybe an elite shooter or someone who's an elite defender who can do it all. So yeah, it definitely makes sense on who who they can get. And of course, Denver isn't really a place of an attraction in the NBA, but again, they are a solid team, and I definitely want to see more from them to see how they can improve and what they can do to maybe even get to a finals if that needed be. But because no one can say now that this team is not contenders. Before, a lot of people like Denver, they'll be out in the first round or they'll probably be out in the second round. But you can't say now that they are not contenders now. They are contenders. They are there. Definitely there. So yeah, even today, I think we've even seen a few rumors of a few trades that could possibly happen once free agency starts. CP3 could come to the Lakers. That would be an interesting one. I definitely could see that happening. LeBron and CP3 good friends, and they trust each other, have good IQs, both of them, and meshing well with Anthony Davis. I think that would be really good. Um, Definitely interesting. Rajon Rondo has opted out of his player option with the Lakers. So it's interesting to see, and he's unrestricted free agent. So if he does want to leave, then he can leave. He's unrestricted, whatever. And I think he did his job. I'm proud of him. I definitely think that he did his job with the Lakers. And also, if he doesn't have the team that he wants to go to because of the money or anything like that, then he can just come back to the Lakers. He would definitely be someone of an elite choice. Definitely someone who's a good guard. I mean, he's definitely elevated his game. He is now shooting threes, which is surprising. I've never saw that with Rondo. He was shooting more threes. He's attacking as usual, and defense has always been good. So definitely, Rondo is a guy who is a person I want to see stick around. But then I don't mind him leaving. It's not that much of a big issue to me. Victor Oladipo, I think he made it known a few months back that, no, it's really not a few months back, but maybe a month ago, that he's interested in leaving the Pacers. And I can kind of understand why he would want to leave the Pacers. And I think Miles Turner too. That team, they got swept in the playoffs by the Heat. And again, they haven't been able to push past their limits with that team they've got. Now, the team's not bad, but then again, I still feel like they are missing something. But again, like what they did to Victor Oladipo, I can kind of see why he left. I just felt like, he came back from injury, and instead of like building him up for him to get back his original minutes, I can understand why. He is basically their star player, and of course, yes, he is injured, but he wanted to play more, and of course, coaching staff was not letting him play more, so I can see why he's just gonna probably opt and leave and probably go somewhere else. I think a few destinations were the Heat, possibly. I don't really know. I don't really know anything else at the moment, but I'm sure free agency, when it happens, rumors will come about and whatnot. So yeah, I think people were even talking about Giannis leaving the Bucks, but I don't think he should. I think the Bucks, if they want to build around him and they want to keep him for a long period, they need to start trading like other players, because like I said, they haven't got an athlete who can match up to him or who could be just under him. That's the problem. So yeah. Um, as far as that goes, everything else, it's just pretty much been set in stone. I will get a chance to talk about things a bit more once free agency starts, because I really want to dive in on some topics that I've had planned in the works, but of course, due to COVID and whatnot. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna pretty much end it here, guys. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next video. Peace.